What's going on, everyone? League Sports back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing my third video in this series of should the Toronto Maple Leafs re-sign. And in this video, I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be talking about Colin Blackwell, of course, the forward that the Toronto Maple Leafs currently have as an unrestricted free agent. Blackwell was traded to Toronto. In that Mark Giordano trade, he was a very underrated piece when the trade first came out, and then he started to grow on people. I really liked him. I thought he played with a lot of grit. He's 29 years of age, so he's still at a good point in his career. He doesn't have a ton of experience in the NHL. He's only played 138 games, but he's put up 52 points, so some decent numbers without a doubt. With the Leafs, he played 19 games. He had 3 points, but he just did a lot of things on that fourth line that you don't typically see on the stat sheet. You really, if you watch the games, you really like what he brings. He brings speed, he brings grit, and for a guy of his caliber, I think he certainly does a good job of playing his role effectively, and I think that he's a guy that the Toronto Maple Leafs should re-sign. And I think that the Leafs, I think they're going to want to re-sign him. I feel like he proved to them that he is worthy of, paying him a little bit of money, and I think that the Leafs should certainly go into it and think about it. And I think there's a really good shot that he comes back on with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And if I had to make my prediction, I would probably say that he comes back. Taking a look at his contract with the Leafs in the past, or of what he was making last year, he was making $725,000 a year, so he wasn't making much. So he's going to obviously get an increase, especially with what he was done and able to do well on the ice. I would probably see him signing a 2-year or 3-year $5 million or 3-year $6 million deal, somewhere in that range, probably about $2 million a year. And I think that's fair for Colin Blackwell. I think he did enough to prove that he's worth that. And as an unrestricted free agent, he's definitely going to test the market. But I think there's a good shot that the Leafs bring him back. I think he talked about at the end of the year that he really liked his time in Toronto, and he thought that he really fit in well, especially on that fourth line. Now that the Leafs lost Jason Spezza, they're going to have to fill that void. So I think Colin Blackwell could make a ton of sense. And, we'll see if the Leafs ultimately do re-sign him. But I think that there's a strong possibility that they re-sign him. And I'm hoping that it's on a 2 or 3 year deal, so it gives them some long-term stability. And I think Blackwell would be interested in a somewhat multi-year extension. I think that would make sense for the two sides. The Toronto Maple Leafs do have a little bit of money to play around with, but they have to be smart with it. They have quite a bit of spots to fill, of course, with all the unrestricted free agents they have and losing Jason Spezza. It's going to be interesting to see how they choose to spend their money and distribute that. Distribute what they have and how they fill the voids. But I think Colin Blackwell would be a very smart signing, and I think Kyle Dubas, when he brings in these players via trade, he's not just doing it for the sake of doing it. I think he's doing it to try and get a lot out of them, and then try and re-sign them after as well. We've seen that with already Mark Giordano. He's brought him back. We've seen that with a lot of the guys that he's traded for. You take a look at Jake Muzzin. They re-signed him, so it's going to be interesting to see. But I think Colin Blackwell certainly is a good candidate for the Toronto Maple Leafs to re-sign. And if I were calling the shots, I'd give him a multi-year deal because I think it would work out for the team, and I think it would certainly work out for Colin Blackwell as well. I think both sides would be interested in this type of deal. It's a very interesting topic, and like I said, the Leafs are tight on the cap, so they got to be smart with it. Entering the offseason, they have quite a bit of money. They have room to work with, but of course that does not include them having a goalie. That does not include them having much of a third and fourth line. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Leafs choose to spend the money. I'm looking forward to seeing how they do it, and I'm very excited. But you guys let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on Colin Blackwell. Would you bring him back? And if so, how much would you spend on him? Like I said, I would bring him back on about a 3-year, $6 million deal. But you guys let me know all that good stuff down below in the comment section. As always, please leave a like on the video, subscribe if you guys new. We'll see you guys all in the next video. Go Leafs, go!